Hoggie's beer reviews. Hoggie's beer reviews.
What's going on, guys? I did a beer mill video, where I opened up the package that arrived at my door about 2 hours ago. And the thing is, everything was so well packed that it took me so long to open it. I was like, man, this is just too long for a beer mill video. So instead of the opening of the box, you get the aftermath. This was a beer mill package sent to me by my man Bryant, also known as hanksranger on YouTube. Thank you, sir. He hit me up a while back and asked me if they had Hamms. I believe that's how it started. He asked me if there was Hamms in my area, and I said no. I've heard of it. It's a classic American beer, but I've never seen it. They don't sell it in Florida, or at least in South Florida or Central Florida. So he offered to send me some, and it kind of we kind of included some other things, and he ended up sending me a can of Hamms, classic American lager, old school stuff. And he also sent me a can of Steel Kettle Light. Never heard of it, never seen it either, so that's really cool. Curious to see what that's like. And this is really cool. This is that Minutes or Minots? I can't say it, I can't tell, but it's Black Star, double hopped golden lager. Looks like a craft beer. All right, and it's got a really cool cap too, so that's gonna be really cool in the fridge. So he sent me these, and I asked. This was a personal favor, because there's no 40s in the state of Florida. Stupid ass state law doesn't allow anything over 32 ounces. So I said, hey man, can you give me a 40? Can you send me a 40 of Mickey's? Just because I really want to have a 40 of Mickey's. So that's it, man. And he was really concerned about making sure everything was packaged good and that nothing broke and it arrived intact. And trust me, this thing would have survived a drop from an airplane. He packaged the hell out of it, Brian, man. Good job. You packaged the fuck out of everything. This shit arrived, I'm telling you, it would have survived a fall from a plane. No bullshit. A low-flying plane, but still, a plane. So that's it, man. 2 cans of some American adjunct stuff that I've never seen before, and I'm really anxious to try. This really interesting looking craft beer, home of Black Star Beer, Great Northern Brewing Company, Whitefish, Montana. All right, beer from Montana, cool beans, and the 40. So one more time, hanksranger, my man, thank you. Everybody else, stay tuned because the videos are coming. Matter of fact, this video might lead into one of these. I'm not sure yet. So stay watching, and I'll be back. Take care. Okay, we're back. Hoggie's beer review, and I'm doing a dual review. As you can see, these are the 2 cans that were sent to me by hanksranger. Once again, Brian, thank you. I'm rolling them into one review because they're cans, they're lighter American beers, and I only have 1 can of each. So roll it into one big review, and we're going to start off with Hamms. That's right, Hamms beer. Hamms is a name that maybe a lot of you guys have heard but have not seen. That applies to me. I've heard about this beer. I know that it's a classic old American brand, but I've never seen it, which is why my man sent it to me. These are not available in Florida. And unfortunately, Hamms went the way of many other classic American names, brands of beer, Pabst, Schlitz, Stroh's. A lot of those guys are not around anymore, or they're not around in the capacity that they used to be. These were all, including Hamms, these were all popular, big-time, nationwide American beers. And, legal troubles or bankruptcies or getting bought out, closing plants, etc., etc., a lot of them just aren't around anymore. Or like Hamms, they've been relegated to the cheapo status. Hamms is now owned by Miller, and again, it's a cheapo beer. I don't know how much these cost, but I know it's not much. These are not the premium beers that they used to be. There's a big following for Hamms up north, I guess in Minnesota, Milwaukee, or whatever, where the plants were used to be based out of. But the rest of the country, tough to come by. Hamms, since 1865 it says, America's classic premium beer, born in the land of the waters, brewed in true family tradition from the purest water and choicest barley, malt, grain, and hops. That grain shouldn't be in there, but I won't get into that. Adjunct lagers are what these are. They're beers that use stuff, grains, rice, corn, stuff like that, that extra adjunct ingredient to cut the flavor and cut costs and It is what it is, but regardless if it's an adjunct lager or not, some are better than others. I've always wanted to try some Hamms and see what this old school American beer was all about. So thanks to my man Brian, now I get a chance to do that. So without further ado, let's just crack open the Hamms. And I mean, you can't expect much. This isn't a craft beer. You're not going to be bombarded with smells and flavors and colors. It's going to be a relatively simple beer. But I learned back in 2009 in one of my earlier reviews, I learned that just because it's an economy beer, a cheap beer, doesn't mean it's bad. It actually could still be decent or inoffensive, like Schlitz, regular Schlitz. I tried it and I was really surprised. Same goes for PBR too. They don't have any strong flavors. You know, unlike Busch and some of these other beers, they have like a strong corn, kind of a strong grainy, cooked veggie nastiness to it. Some of these beers are actually very tame, very mild, but very easy to drink. Like they make really good, like, you know, barbecue beers or, you know, like lawnmower beers, you know, the kind of stuff you want to just chug after working out or working hard. So this is actually looking good. The head is actually frothier than you get with a lot of these American cheapo lagers. And I know the color isn't going to show true on the camera, but I mean it's a pale straw. I mean it's like dirty water, you know, slightly yellowish water, yellow fizzy water. And it's got active carbonation, but it's not like overly carbonated. Some beers it's just a constant stream of just bubbles, you know. So I mean it looks pretty good for what it is. And it smells pretty mild for what it is. Again, it kind of reminds me of the Schlitz. You get that little bit of that, you know, veggie, corny flavor in there, but it's not overwhelming, it's not overpowering, it's not too strong. And aside from that, there's not much else going on. Guess I'll just have to drink some. Oh. There's a hint of like a, kind of like a lemon zest in there. And that corn adjunct, it's there, but it's not like overpowering. It's like a little spicy note to it. Just leaving a little lacing, well, I'll be damned. There is something a little, I don't know if it's aluminum from the can or something. There is something a little chemically in there. It's like a hint of something a little off. It kind of reminds me of Keystone, where there's like this little chemically aftertaste. But aside from that, man, this is a very inoffensive beer. If I'm hard up, you know, if I'm hard up and all I have is like an adjunct lager to choose from, I will take this, regular Schlitz, and PBR before Bud, Miller, Busch, and a lot of those other beers, just because they're lighter, smoother, and less offensive, less nasty flavors. It's very tame, it's very mild, but all in all, it's not bad. It really isn't. A little bit of lemoniness, lemongrass kind of thing. I like it for what it is. So, if I had to grade it as an adjunct, old school American cheapo beer, I'd say that it's one of the better ones. Glass half full for what it is. Glass half full, pushing 3/4 for what it is, for a cheapo beer. And I'll put it to the side, finish it in a bit, but I don't want to run too long on the review, so let me just jump into this guy. This was another one that hanksranger sent me. He just threw it in there because, you know, because I'd never seen it before, you know. They don't have this around here. And this is called Steel Kettle Whistle Light. Now, I did my research on this, and it turns out that this is a store brand. This is brewed or produced exclusively for the Fresh and Easy chain of grocery stores, which are spread throughout California, Arizona, and Nevada. So this is a store brand, much like that Big Flats Walgreens beer I tried a few months ago. This is in the same vein. It's brewed strictly for them. There's a Steel Kettle Regular and the Steel Kettle Light. This is the Steel Kettle Light. I really don't have high expectations for this guy. But once again, just to try, just to see what this store brand is like. Apparently this is, again, really cheap. Oh wow, really clear too. Ooh, really fizzy. Yeah, Hamm's was cool because of the nostalgia and the fact that it's an old brand. This is a store brand. Can't expect too much from a store brand. You know? And it's a light beer. Okay. It's only like a hair. Just a short and curly hair. Lighter than the Hamm's. I mean, you can... Oh hell, they're the same color damn near. I can't even tell you. But this one, the head is a lot more pop fizzy. Ooh, and the smells are a lot stronger. Yeah. This one smells a lot more like the Keystone. Cooked veggies. Yeah, cooked veggies, that's your adjunct. They use a lot of adjunct. That's corn. That's unappealing. Yeah, no. Active carbonation, nothing special. Again, you know, same light pale straw, light yellow fizzy water. Ooh. Oh, this one has an aftertaste. It's damn near unpleasant. Lemony metallic unwantedness. I don't think I'll be finished. Yeah, I'll finish it. But in like one big swig, so I only have to deal with that aftertaste once more. That beer, this beer has a nasty, unnatural, lemony metallic aftertaste. I don't know if it's chemical, I don't know if it's metal, I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't want to taste it again. It's nasty, it's cheap. Like I said, you can never expect good things from store brands. You know what I mean? Anyways, so Steel Kettle Light sucks balls, glass empty. I wouldn't touch the Steel Kettle or the regular. It's as good as the Big Flats Walgreens brand beer that I did a while back. Stay away from the store brands. Back to the Hamms. I like the Hamms. Smooth, inoffensive, nasty, slap in the face. That's what it is. Dual review, Steel Kettle Light, Hamms, both in a can, sent to me by hanksranger. Thank you, sir. He sent me some other stuff. I'll be doing those videos soon enough. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. Now, where's the good one? This is the good one. All right. Cheers.